The first human fleet appeared in the border system like a sudden shadow across the stars. Alien observers, who had watched countless species advance into galactic politics, were not prepared for what they saw. These humans moved with precision it was almost impossible to predict. Their ships were sleek, silent, and numerous enough to be seen as a threat, yet they were not hostile. Admiral Kang De-Hyan stood on the bridge of the lead ship, calm and steady. He scanned the holographic display of the system, noting the positions of the alien fleets. His eyes, dark and sharp, held a quiet confidence. Around him, his officers moved with practiced efficiency. Not a single hesitation or doubt in their movements. Lee Sun-woo, the tactical officer, pointed at the screen. Admiral, sensors show several coalition ships approaching the outer rim. They are scanning us, but they do not seem to understand our fleet's size. Kang De-Hyan nodded slightly. Let them watch. Their fear is already working. The aliens' communications were filled with anxious chatter. They had expected humans to be small, weak, and untested. Instead, they saw formations and maneuvers that suggested experience far beyond their predictions. Ships moved in patterns that were almost artistic in their complexity, weaving through space in ways that made the aliens' own technology seem crude. It was not an attack, yet the presence alone was terrifying. Han Yura, the science liaison, studied the readings from the alien ships. They are trying to measure our power output, she said, her voice calm but carrying a note of excitement. They cannot get accurate readings. Our ships are using phased energy fields to mask their strength. Lee Sun-woo chuckled lightly. They think a single fleet is all Earth has. If they only knew. The alien commanders, on their own ships, debated furiously. It is impossible, one said, his voice trembling. They have barely crossed into our system, yet their technology is unmatched. How can one planet produce such a fleet? Another commander hissed. They must be bluffing. There is no way this is their true force. We will test them. Back on the human lead ship, Kang De-Hyan gave a small nod. Prepare for inspection, he said. We will not provoke, but we will not hide either. Choi Mira, the diplomatic officer, prepared communications. I will open a channel, she said. It is time to let them know humanity exists, and that we are not afraid. The first message went out, simple and clear. It was not a threat, but it carried the weight of command and the promise of strength. The alien coalition received it and paused. Humans, it seemed, did not need to shout or fire weapons to make an impression. The language of power was clear in their precision and in their silence. The alien probes moved closer, trying to scan the humans' defenses. Each attempt failed. Every data readout returned incomplete or contradictory results. Han Yura smiled. They cannot understand us. Their sensors are useless. Kang De-Hyan watched the alien movements, his mind calm. Let them come closer. Let them see that one fleet is enough. On the alien side, the tension grew. Ships hesitated at every turn, commanders questioning each other's courage. Are we really facing only a single fleet? One asked, disbelief in his tone. They move as if they are hundreds of ships, yet the readings show just one fleet. Meanwhile, humans continued their drills, not aggressive but perfectly synchronized. Each maneuver was designed to demonstrate discipline, technology, and readiness. Lee Sun-woo directed a series of mock attack patterns, watching the aliens' reactions on the sensors. Every change in formation made the aliens' movements stiffer, more cautious. Fear spread among the coalition like wildfire. Kang De-Hyan spoke to his crew, not loudly, but with a calm authority. Today, we are not here to fight. We are here to show that humanity is not to be underestimated. Do your duty. Maintain formation. Remain steady. As the day went on, more alien ships approached, unable to resist the curiosity and need for reconnaissance. They had never seen anything like this. One scout ship moved closer than the rest, trying to map the human vessels. Within moments, its systems were overwhelmed, not destroyed, but neutralized. The humans did not attack. They simply demonstrated capability. The message was clear. Any attempt to harm humans would be met with overwhelming response. On the human bridge, Kang De-hyeon looked at the data flowing in. They will test us soon. Let us see how far their arrogance goes. And test them they did. A single alien ship moved aggressively toward the human fleet, signaling what they thought was a challenge. The humans responded immediately, not with fire, but with precision maneuvering that trapped the ship without damage. It floated helplessly, surrounded on all sides, its engines forced offline by fields that the aliens could not comprehend. The message was simple. Humans were in control, even without weapons drawn. The alien commanders panicked. Retreat, one barked. This is madness. One fleet is only the beginning. How strong are they really? Kang De-hyeon observed silently, his eyes sharp. They believe they know our strength. Let them continue to believe. When they see more, the truth will be undeniable. Even the humans felt the thrill of command, but there was no arrogance in the crew. Every action was measured, every move deliberate. They were a united force, showing that humans were not just capable of war, but of strategic control and careful restraint. As night fell over the distant stars, the human fleet held its position. They did not retreat, nor did they strike. They were a presence, a living warning to the alien coalition. Fear and respect spread in equal measure among the aliens. One by one, their commanders recorded reports of human discipline, technology, and coordination. Every data point confirmed what they had already felt. Humanity was not to be underestimated, and somewhere in the fleet, Kang De-hyeon allowed a small smile. One fleet was enough to frighten them. One fleet had shown what humans could do. The galaxy, it seemed, would soon learn that Earth was no ordinary planet, and its people were no ordinary species. The first step was complete, the demonstration made. Yet the real test, the next challenge, had not even begun. Humanity's story was only starting to unfold, and the stars were watching with both awe and fear. The alien coalition believed they could handle humanity with caution, but overconfidence clouded their judgment. Commander Park Jin-seok led the alien probe fleet closer to Earth's forces, confident that the humans would hesitate to attack. He believed that one fleet was all that Earth could send. Alien ships formed tight clusters, each scanning the human vessels with instruments that buzzed and hummed. Park's crew watched nervously, sensing the tension from the humans, though they could not read it clearly. On the bridge of the lead human ship, Kang De-hyeon observed the alien movements. Lee Sun-woo and Han Yura stood beside him, their eyes tracking every data readout. "They are misjudging us," Kang said quietly. "Their arrogance blinds them." Choi Mera prepared to send another message, a simple warning in neutral terms. "They do not yet understand what we are," she said. "Perhaps they will listen now." But the aliens ignored the message. They saw it as a tactic to buy time. Park Jin-seok thought, "We will test them. We will show them that one fleet cannot intimidate the galaxy." Orders were given to move aggressively. Small ships advanced toward the human formation, scanning and probing the shields, hoping to find weakness. The humans watched calmly, their actions deliberate and composed. Lee Sun-woo smiled faintly. "They are walking into their own mistake. They have no idea how strong we are." Han Yura analyzed the readings. "Every probe is being misled by our fields. They cannot get accurate information. Their weapons are useless against our formations." The alien fleet accelerated slightly, attempting a coordinated strike on what they assumed was the human center. But every move was anticipated. Kong Dai Hyan directed subtle adjustments to the human formation. Ships shifted, creating layers and lines that forced the alien fleet to hesitate, to break formation. Each alien ship encountered unexpected resistance without any direct attack from the humans. Sensors failed, engines were forced to adjust to avoid collision, and coordination among the aliens faltered. Park Jin-seok's frustration grew. Why are they not attacking? Are they afraid? How can one fleet have such control? Another alien officer replied nervously, "They do not act like ordinary species. Their organization? It is beyond our calculations." Back on the human bridge, Kong Dae-hyan's calm demeanor was mirrored in his crew. "Let them test us," he said. "Every move they make teaches them restraint." As the aliens pressed forward, one of their ships tried to breach the human formation. It darted aggressively, hoping to provoke a response. Lee Sun-woo initiated a containment sequence, not violent, but precise. The ship was surrounded by energy fields, temporarily neutralized, unable to harm humans or retreat. The aliens watched in disbelief as the humans made the point clear. They had power and control. Yet they chose not to destroy. Choi Mira sent a new message, explaining in simple terms that Earth does not seek war, but any aggression would be met with unmatched defense. The aliens read the message, but were confused. They expected threats and attacks, not calm words paired with undeniable capability. Park Jin-seok convened a council aboard his flagship. "We underestimated them," he said. "They are not bluffing. Their technology, their discipline, it is beyond our expectations. We must be careful." His officers whispered among themselves. "Perhaps one fleet is all they have," one suggested. "We can pressure them and force a retreat." Park shook his head. "No, they are organized and they anticipate our moves. We cannot predict their response. Any attack may fail, and the consequences will be severe." Meanwhile, human ships maintained a visible presence, scanning, adjusting, demonstrating capability without aggression. The aliens tried to interpret their strategy, but failed. Every move was measured, every adjustment deliberate. Lee Sun-woo and Han Yura monitored alien attempts to exploit perceived weaknesses, only to redirect their probes into harmless loops. The humans controlled the space around them completely. Without striking a single blow, the coalition began to fracture under the pressure. Small disagreements turned into open disputes. Commanders questioned each other's judgments, and fear replaced confidence. Every failed attempt to provoke humans added to their uncertainty. Kong Dae-hyan observed these changes silently, understanding that victory could sometimes come through presence and patience rather than destruction. One alien ship attempted a direct attack again, launching a series of missiles aimed at the human formation. Instantly, the humans responded with energy shields, electromagnetic fields that neutralized the projectiles without causing explosions. The missiles fell harmlessly away, and the aliens were stunned. "How is this possible?" One officer asked in disbelief. Han Yura explained quietly, "Their weapons cannot penetrate our phase shields. Our systems redirect energy to neutralize threats. We show them control, not aggression." The aliens hesitated, unsure if continued attacks were wise. Park Jin-seok considered retreat, but feared losing face before the coalition. "We cannot back down yet," he said, though his confidence was shaken. Kong Dae-hyan addressed his crew, calm and precise. "We do not need to attack. Our strength is visible. They will understand if we remain patient. Discipline is our message." Choi Mira prepared another communication, this time emphasizing diplomacy alongside strength. "We have no desire to fight unless necessary," she transmitted. "Our goal is coexistence, but aggression will be met with full response. Respect is earned, not demanded." The aliens received this and debated feverishly. Conflicting advice, fear, and pride caused confusion. Some wanted to withdraw. Others insisted on continuing the probe. Every decision was slowed by uncertainty, and the humans observed with quiet satisfaction. One fleet, acting as one unit, had unsettled the coalition more than any number of direct attacks could. The humans demonstrated restraint repeatedly. When a damaged alien ship floated into their formation accidentally, human crews extended shields to prevent harm, even assisting repairs from a safe distance. This unexpected mercy puzzled the aliens further. Humans were powerful, precise, and disciplined, yet they were capable of compassion. The contrast between their strength and their restraint confused the coalition's commanders more than fear alone. Could Park Jin-seok realize the depth of their mistake? "We judged them by our own assumptions," he said. "We assumed arrogance, weakness, and inexperience. We were wrong. Humanity is something else entirely." The day ended with no shots fired, but the coalition fleets had been tested and unsettled. Human ships held position calmly, proving that one fleet could control and influence an entire alien force without firing a single weapon. Kang Dae-hyeon watched the stars in silence, knowing that the first step had been successful. One fleet had been enough to make the aliens nervous, to force them to question their assumptions, and to recognize that humans were not a species to be underestimated. Lee Sun-woo turned to Kang. "They think we are limited, that we cannot send more. They do not yet see our full strength." Kang Dae-hyeon nodded. "Let them think that. When they learn the truth, it will be unforgettable." Humanity had shown the galaxy its first lesson in strategy and restraint. The aliens had thought they understood the humans after observing a single fleet. In reality, they had only scratched the surface. The warning was clear. Humans could be dangerous, but they were not reckless. Every ship in the human fleet was a tool of precision, every crew member a part of a living machine, ready to act with skill and care. The galaxy would soon see that Earth was more than just a planet, and its people were more than just a species. They were a force to be respected, and their story was only beginning to unfold. The calm of the border system shattered when 10 more human fleets arrived almost at once. Each fleet jumped in from different coordinates, perfectly timed, as if the universe itself had arranged their entrance. The alien coalition, already shaken by the first human fleet, now faced a spectacle that seemed impossible. Admiral Kang Dae-hyeon stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the jump points collapse into space. His crew moved smoothly, almost like clockwork, coordinating the arrival of each new fleet without confusion. Every captain knew exactly where to be, every ship knew its formation, and every officer understood the grand strategy. Lee Sun-woo, the tactical officer, pointed at the holographic display. "They will not believe this," he said quietly. "One fleet was enough to scare them. 10 more will leave them in chaos." Hanyura analyzed the sensor data. All 10 fleets are in position. They are moving with precision and efficiency. Every fleet is reinforcing the others. They cannot anticipate the scale of our coordination. The alien commanders stared at the screens aboard their flagship. Commander Park Jin-seok could not hide the fear in his eyes. "Impossible," he whispered. "We thought one fleet was a warning. This is something else entirely." The alien ships scrambled to respond. They tried to reposition, to organize, but the human fleets moved with perfect synchronization. Layers of ships formed defensive lines, offensive formations, and mobile reserves. Every maneuver was executed flawlessly. It was not aggression, yet it was undeniable power. The humans did not fire a shot, yet the aliens felt the threat in every system reading and every silent movement in the void. Kang Dae-hyeon addressed his crew. "Maintain formation. We are not attacking yet. Let them understand the truth. One fleet was only the beginning. Choi Myra opened a communication channel to the coalition. Her voice was calm and clear. "We are not here to destroy. We are here to demonstrate our capability. Any aggression against humanity will meet a full and decisive response. Respect our presence." The aliens, though stunned, tried to respond with authority. "They are bluffing," Park Jin-seok said, though his voice was unsteady. "They cannot have 10 fleets ready at the same time. They are exaggerating." But the data did not lie. Each fleet was real, each ship accounted for, and every formation perfectly aligned. The alien commanders began to doubt their instruments, then their intelligence, and finally their own courage. Humanity was no longer a species to be underestimated. They were a force that commanded attention and respect. Lee Sun-woo pointed out the fleet movements on the display. "Notice how they are trying to probe our center. They do not realize that our lines are layered. Any breach they attempt will be met by coordinated responses. It is like a living machine." Hanyura smiled. "They are learning too late. 1 fleet taught them caution. 10 more are teaching them fear and respect." The alien ships attempted a coordinated strike, but their timing and formations fell apart under the pressure of the human fleets. Each attempt was anticipated and neutralized without a single human ship firing a weapon. Energy fields, defensive matrices, and phased shielding redirected the alien attacks harmlessly into space. Panic spread as their attacks failed repeatedly. While humans maintained perfect control over the battle space. Park Jin-seok called for a retreat, but pride and duty held some of the alien commanders back. "We cannot withdraw. If we do, we will lose face before the coalition. We must fight." But the humans did not attack. They allowed the aliens to see their mistakes, to feel the power of coordination and discipline. Every movement by the aliens resulted in frustration and failure. Every attempted strike was neutralized without violence. Humans demonstrated mastery over space itself, not with weapons, but with strategy, patience, and precise control of their fleets. The alien commanders began to argue among themselves. Some wanted to negotiate, some wanted to flee, and some still hoped to force a confrontation. The human fleets observed quietly, allowing the coalition to experience its own indecision and fear. Kang Dae-hyan knew that power was shown not only through force, but through control and presence. This was the lesson the aliens needed to understand. As the fleets moved, the humans displayed more than power. They displayed discipline, care, and even compassion. When a damaged alien ship drifted close to one of the fleets, humans extended protective fields and offered remote repair guidance. The aliens were baffled. These humans had power to destroy, yet they chose restraint. Their capability was undeniable, but their mercy was surprising. It created confusion, and confusion led to hesitation. Lee Sun-woo noted, "They are beginning to question everything they thought they knew about combat. They do not understand that we are not just powerful. We are united, precise, and restrained." Hanyura added, "This is more than fear. It is awe. They see humanity, and they cannot predict us." The alien fleet commander, Park Jin-seok, realized the depth of their miscalculation. "We assumed they were limited, weak, inexperienced," he said aloud. "We were wrong. Their reach is vast. Their coordination is flawless. Humanity is unstoppable in their own way." Kang Dae-hyan, observing the alien reactions, allowed a small smile. 1 fleet had been enough to make the aliens nervous. 10 more had made them realize that their assumptions were dangerously flawed. Humanity did not need to destroy to command respect. They only needed to exist, organized and united. The aliens would remember this day, not as a battle, but as a demonstration of human power and precision. Choi Myra sent another message, reinforcing the message of strength and caution. Humanity does not seek war, but it will respond decisively to aggression. Our fleets demonstrate our ability to act together as one. Respect our presence, or you will face the consequences. The aliens read the message, fear and uncertainty mixing with respect and disbelief. They had underestimated humans. They had thought one fleet was impressive. They had thought humans were limited. The arrival of 10 more fleets had shattered all of their assumptions. Humanity was no longer a question mark in the galaxy. It was a force to be accounted for in every decision and strategy. The human fleets held position, coordinated and precise, waiting, watching, demonstrating mastery of the battlefield without firing a shot. The aliens could not predict the humans' next move, could not understand their full capacity, and could not ignore their presence. The galaxy had received its first true lesson in humanity's strategic power, and the aliens understood that the species before them was beyond reckoning by ordinary means. Kang De Hyan turned to Lee Sun-woo. They are learning, but slowly. Patience is our greatest weapon. 1 fleet taught caution. 10 fleets will teach respect. Lee Sun-woo nodded. And when they realize there could be even more fleets, the lesson will be complete. The human presence was absolute, precise, and calm. The aliens were left to wrestle with the reality of a species that could deploy vast forces with perfect coordination, restraint, and intelligence. Fear had taken root, but respect and awe would grow even stronger. Humanity had arrived, not as conquerors, but as a force that the galaxy could neither ignore nor misjudge. And in the silence of space, 10 fleets moved as one, a living demonstration of what Earth could unleash when necessary. The alien coalition faced a reality they could not easily accept. Humanity's fleets moved with calm precision, controlling the space around them with skill that was frightening in its simplicity. Commander Park Jin-seok struggled to maintain his composure. He knew that continued conflict would result in heavy losses. His officers whispered in fear and doubt, unsure if they could trust their calculations. One of the young commanders said, "We are facing a species that thinks differently, acts differently, and moves as one. Our weapons cannot touch them." On the human flagship, Admiral Kang De Hyan observed everything silently. Lee Sun-woo and Han Yura monitored the alien movements, noting their hesitation. They are trying to find a way to attack, but every move they make is anticipated, Lee Sun-woo said. They cannot surprise us. Kang De Hyan nodded. We are showing them our doctrine. Strength is necessary, but restraint defines our power. Let them see the difference. Across the fleets, humans displayed coordination that went beyond combat. When one alien ship lost power and drifted toward a human formation, the nearby human ships extended shields to prevent collisions. At the same time, Han Yura guided the alien crew through emergency procedures remotely, stabilizing the vessel. The aliens could not comprehend the combination of strength and mercy. Some began to question what kind of species humanity truly was. Choi Mira sent a communication, calm and firm. Humanity seeks peace, but we are ready for any aggression. Observe our actions and understand that our strength is not only in weapons, but in discipline, strategy, and unity. Park Jin-seok gathered his council. We underestimated them from the beginning. We thought one fleet was enough to gauge their ability. Now we see that one fleet was only the start. 10 fleets control the battlefield effortlessly. What will happen if there are more? His officers nodded, fear and respect growing in their expressions. The coalition tried to maintain formations, but hesitation and indecision made their strategies falter. Any attempt to advance resulted in misalignment and vulnerability. Humanity's restraint made the aliens paranoid, as they could not predict whether the humans would suddenly attack or continue to hold position. Lee Sun-woo observed the alien probes trying to penetrate human defenses. Every attempt is neutralized, he said. Without firing, we dominate the field. This is strategy, not brute force. Hanyura added, it is a demonstration of doctrine. The aliens are learning that power without control is nothing. We teach them restraint through example. The humans then initiated controlled maneuvers that allowed some alien ships to move closer, thinking they found a gap. Immediately, the humans adjusted, containing the ships without damage. The aliens felt trapped, not by weapons, but by the sheer coordination and awareness of human fleets. It was a lesson in deterrence, showing that aggression would be met with precise countermeasures, yet not with unnecessary destruction. Park Jin-seok could see the psychological impact. We cannot predict their next move. Every action is deliberate. They control the battlefield without firing a shot. We are outmatched in intellect and organization. Back on the human bridge, Kang Dae-hyun spoke to his crew. Our goal is not to destroy. Our goal is to show our ability to act decisively and wisely. The lesson is clear. Humans are a species to respect. Choi Myra prepared another message. Observe our actions. Humanity is not reckless, but we are capable. We protect, we coordinate, and we respond with precision. Do not underestimate us, for we will respond if necessary. The alien fleet's morale faltered. Conflicting orders, fear, and hesitation caused errors in navigation and coordination. Some ships tried to retreat, others wanted to negotiate, and the rest were frozen in indecision. Humans observed these shifts, using them as silent lessons in discipline, patience, and unity. Every movement demonstrated that humans could wield power without destruction, control space without chaos, and command respect without arrogance. A damaged alien ship drifted near one of the human lines. Kang Dae-hyun allowed the crew to assist, showing mercy alongside strength. Lee Sun-woo commented, they expected attack, not aid. This confuses them further. Hanyura added, it is part of our doctrine. Strength with ethics creates unpredictability. Humans are dangerous not only because of power, but because they act differently from every other species. The coalition realized that fighting humans was not just a matter of weapons or numbers. Every attack was countered, every advance was anticipated, and every strategy was anticipated by human intellect and coordination. Fear mixed with awe, and doubt replaced confidence. Park Jin-seok acknowledged the truth aloud. Humanity is not just strong. They are disciplined, intelligent, and united. We face a species that cannot be outmaneuvered by conventional means. Kang Dae-hyun's calm presence dominated the bridge. He watched the aliens learn, hesitate, and reconsider. Humanity's doctrine was evident. Deter aggression through strength and precision, demonstrate restraint, and establish control through unity. The aliens had seen nothing like it in the galaxy. Every interaction reinforced the lesson that humans were capable of far more than any other species had. Believed Lee Sun-woo turned to Kang. One fleet frightened them. 10 fleets controlled their minds and forced them to reconsider everything. Kang Dae-hyun smiled. And when they see what more we can do, they will understand that humanity is not a species to test lightly. This is the essence of our doctrine. Strength with discipline and mercy defines us. The human fleets held their positions, calm, controlled, and ready. The aliens were left to wrestle with uncertainty, unable to ignore the reality of a species that combined overwhelming capability with ethical restraint. The coalition realized that they were facing a civilization that could teach respect without ever firing a shot. Humanity had shown the galaxy that power was not only in destruction, but in control, strategy, and the choice to act wisely. And in the silence of space, the human fleets moved as one. An unstoppable force guided by intellect, unity, and ethics, leaving the alien coalition with no choice but to acknowledge the supremacy of human discipline and foresight. The alien coalition finally realized that confrontation was futile. Humanity's fleets held their ground, not with aggression, but with unshakable control of the battlefield. Commander Park Jin-seok watched his officers debate and panic. Some wanted to negotiate, some wanted to retreat, and some were frozen in indecision. The humans were teaching them, without firing a weapon, that strength combined with discipline could command respect across the galaxy. Admiral Kang Dae-hyun observed silently. Lee Sun-woo and Han Yura tracked every alien movement, noting hesitation, errors, and fear. "They are ready to submit," Lee Sun-woo said quietly. "Not because we destroyed them, but because they understand the consequences of misjudgment." Kang Dae-hyun nodded. "This is the ultimate lesson. Power without wisdom is chaos. Humans demonstrate both." Choi Myra prepared a communication for the coalition. Her voice was calm and firm. "Humanity does not seek war. We are ready to defend ourselves decisively. Respect our presence and our choices. Coexistence is possible only with understanding and acknowledgement of our capabilities." The alien commanders read the message, and slowly their fear turned into recognition. They had underestimated Earth. They had assumed that one fleet was all humanity could manage. But now it was clear. Earth could deploy many fleets, each perfectly coordinated, disciplined, and controlled. They had faced humans who combined technology, strategy, and ethics in a way no other species had ever displayed. Park Jin-seok turned to his officers. "We were wrong to judge them by our standards. Humanity is not just a force to reckon with. It is a species that redefines what power means. Retreat may be wise, but we must negotiate from a position of acknowledgement." His officers nodded, some with relief, others with lingering fear. The coalition had been humbled, forced to see that humans were not conquerors in the conventional sense. They were a species capable of teaching respect, not through domination alone, but through demonstration of restraint, control, and intelligence. On the human bridge, Kang Dae-hyun addressed his crew. "Our demonstration is complete. We do not need to attack to command respect. The galaxy sees what humanity is capable of. Every ship, every crew member has contributed to this lesson. Remember this. Our strength is defined not only by weapons, but by discipline, unity, and wisdom." Lee Sun-woo watched the alien fleet carefully. They understand now. They will negotiate, and they will respect us. But more importantly, they will think twice before challenging humanity again. Han Yura added, "This is the true power of humanity. Not violence, but clarity, control, and ethical action. We are dangerous not only because of strength, but because we act differently than any other species." The aliens sent a message, hesitating and careful. "We acknowledge your strength and discipline. We seek dialogue and peace. Your actions have taught us a lesson that cannot be ignored." Choi Myra received the transmission and responded calmly. "Humanity appreciates recognition and the willingness to coexist. We will continue to demonstrate our presence without unnecessary conflict, but aggression will meet decisive response. Let this be the foundation of understanding between our species." Park Jin-seok considered the implications. "We misjudged humanity from the start. One fleet was enough to scare us. 10 more showed us the reality. Their coordination, their ethics, their restraint. We cannot challenge them without great risk." The alien fleet began to withdraw, but with a newfound respect for humanity. They had seen a species that combined overwhelming technological capability with discipline and mercy, a combination that made them unpredictable and formidable. Every move had been calculated, every action purposeful, and every demonstration of power controlled. The coalition understood that humanity was not a species to provoke lightly. Kang Dae-hyun allowed a small smile. "The galaxy has learned our lesson. It will take time, but our message is clear. Humanity does not seek war. but we are always prepared. Our power is in our unity, discipline, and ability to act wisely. Li Sun Wu glanced at the stars. They will remember this day. They will speak of it for generations. And when they think of humanity, they will think of strength with wisdom, not destruction. Han Yura added, "This is the essence of HFY. Humans rise not through brute force alone, but through strategy, ethics, and unity." The galaxy sees that now. The alien coalition finally departed, leaving space under human control. The humans did not pursue them. There was no need. The lesson had been learned. Humanity's fleets remained in formation, calm and precise, ready for any future challenge, demonstrating that true power is measured not only in destruction, but in the ability to command respect, act ethically, and maintain discipline. Kang De-Hyan addressed the crews one final time. "Today, we have done more than defend our borders. We have shown what humanity is capable of. Let this day be remembered not as a battle, but as a demonstration of our doctrine: strength with wisdom, power with restraint, and unity with purpose. The galaxy now knows the name of Earth, and they will respect it." Li Sun Wu smiled. One fleet frightened them. 10 more taught them. And the galaxy will never forget humanity. Han Yura nodded. The story of this day will spread, not as a tale of war, but as proof that humans act differently, think differently, and rise beyond expectation. We are ready for the future. The human fleets remained in formation, calm and prepared. The aliens had withdrawn, but the lessons they carried would shape their actions for decades. Humanity had proven its strength, not only through technology, but through wisdom, unity, and restraint. The galaxy would remember this day as the moment it saw the true power of humans, not as conquerors, but as a species that commanded respect without firing a single shot.